Hello, my name is André. I'm the founder and CEO of Asetek, and today we are going to talk to you about our brand new steering wheel, the Forte Formula Wheel. What you see here is one color combination. We are not sure yet whether this will be the shipping combination or not. We are in fact waiting for other colors that are on the ocean right now. Changing them is quite simple, as you can see. So that's something we will come back to later. But just so you know, there will be different color combinations. As you know, most of you know anyway, is that we are brand new into this space. We launched our pedals earlier this year. And there was a number of things that we would like to accomplish. And it has been quite an engineering task. So one thing we would like to accomplish was the ability to actually change the handles. When you have big hands like me, for example, I like a thicker grip, whereas what we have default is, let's say, more average sized. So it's a 290 millimeter wheel. If you add these, it will be 4 or 5 millimeter larger in total diameter. Of course, down the line, we will probably also have different color combinations, different hardnesses, and of course, everything within SimSports is a preference. So this rubber, we believe, is soft and where it should be, but we could also imagine that later on that we would add harder rubbers or even softer rubbers or different shapes. We could do a closed wheel, we could do an open wheel. There's a lot of things we could do. How do we ensure that you can actually, as the end user, mount and dismount the grips numerous times without destroying the threads, etc. So what we landed on is an injection molded technology. It's a carbon composite. There is carbon in, there's glass, and then naturally plastic, of course, to be able to injection mold it. So the chassis of the steering wheel itself is extremely stiff. The texture of the steering wheel will be a forged laser edge carbon structure, so it'll look really cool. But of course, in this, you cannot mount a handle, because if you screw into plastic too many times, you will have the challenge of stripping the threads. So to add rigidity and the ability to do that, we have this, let's say, spider plate that we put in that's attached to the chassis itself. So when you mount the handles, you actually screw directly into a metal plate and not into the carbon or the plastics. To look at the features, there's, although this is our mid-range steering wheel because it's our Forte series, we will come with an Invicta series later on. I can say the main difference will be the display. So everything else will pretty much be the same, but there will be a display. So if we look at the basic configuration, you have 12 push buttons. They can obviously be configured as you want. You have 6 thumb wheels. You have 3 encoders. You have what we call kinky switches or small joysticks, so you can twist and turn up, down, sides, and you can push it. But in the industry, they are actually known as funky switches. The reason we don't use that word is because we do respect other people's IP, and this is what most people don't know, a registered trademark of another company. So therefore we call them kinky switches instead of funky switches, but the functionality is exactly the same. You have all the LEDs, you have flag LEDs, you have the shift RPM LEDs, everything can be customized, of course. Then you will get a sheet with all kind of text on, and then all of this will be backlit. So even if you have your thumb on a button, you can actually see just above it what is it this button actually does. Everything can of course be customized. Do you want incremental? Do you want absolute? Everything can be customized. So it's an extremely flexible wheel. If we look at the shifters a little bit, it's a little bit the same construction as the steering wheel. This is ultra light, ultra rigid. It's also the carbon reinforced or carbon composite material. If you look at the wheel here, you can loosen one screw and then you can actually slide this in and out to your preference, and then you attach it again. It's a fully magnetic shifter, and there's no wires or anything like that. You simply just screw it in and then you have it mounted. On the Forte wheel, we will ship with the paddles, of course. You can configure them as you want. And then you are able to upgrade it with, let's say, DRS paddles and clutch paddles. So now we've seen all the mechanics of it. In fact, our biggest team in Asetek SimSports right now is actually our software team. What's binding everything together is in fact the software. So let's just try to see in real life how it actually works. And then I've dragged in one of my software guys who will give you a little rundown of what the software and the wheel is capable of.
My name is Kenneth. I'm the front-end developer on RaceUp, which is our one-stop shop software for a wheelbase, racing wheel pedals, and anything else we want to develop in the future. Of course, if you have our pedals already, you probably already know the software, but I'm here to tell you a bit about all the new features coming for the wheelbase and racing wheel in the near future. If we take a look at the racing wheel UI, we can see the wheel and the different colors of the LEDs and all that kind of stuff. And in here you can configure your buttons, whatever colors you want, disable a color, you can see it disabled there. And you can also set up your different input modes and stuff. If you go to the shift lights, you can set up your shift lights in different ways. You can choose colors like before. You can set up how they should react to your game, if they should go left to right, center to side. You can really set it up however you like. And of course you can adjust brightness levels and stuff like that as well. So it's kind of simple, but we're going for a simple but very usable UI. And if we take a look at the wheelbase UI, here you can set your center, and you can also see which way the wheel is turning just to make sure things are lining up. And then here you can save your wheelbase settings and reset them if you want. Here you can set up all your torque settings. We have a bunch of presets here, but you can also do your own stuff if you want to and change it to advanced mode. So these are just some of the basic settings you can expect at the beginning when we launch our products. In the future, we of course want to expand on everything. And if you have any ideas or concepts you want us to explore, please let us know, and we'll try and implement it if it's viable.
So the wheel we are introducing today is the Forte wheel, but we are actually also releasing another wheel, which is the La Prima wheel. It essentially has all the same features. This one is a lower cost version than the Forte, and the reason for that is we have taken away 4 of the thumb rolls. We have taken away the shift LEDs, but other than that, exactly the same quality, great feeling wheel. You can on this as well change the handles. By a simple motherboard upgrade, you can actually upgrade your La Prima steering wheel at a later date to a Forte steering wheel. This wheel is not sold standalone. It will be a part of our La Prima bundle, where you get a steering wheel, you get a wheelbase and our pedals for only $1,349.99. So the Forte steering wheel will be available for $599.99, and it will be available from our global reseller network, and it will be available from our web store. And we will open for pre-orders very soon, this week in fact. I think that's what I want to say about our steering wheel for now.